Oh no, the forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa, you can make us see it your way. No way, gasoline and propane, more flames. Oh no, no more snowflakes.
We can all get along, but there's no stopping. Ay, everybody's wrong, that's a real problem. Ay, they don't want to hear it, but they still talking. Ay, soon enough, we running out of options. Ay, this ain't gonna end till it's in the coffin. Ay, we ain't gonna be friends till we try to squash it. Ay, I don't know how we can make amends or we drop it. Snowflakes melt when it's hot, kid.
Y'all are so fake. Oh no, the forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa, you can make us see it your way. No way, gasoline and propane, more flames. Oh no, no more snowflakes.
This is Amária with HeartMind Expressions and the Fab Four, and we're here tonight with McClure and AlexSpielman. How are you guys doing tonight?
Just fantastic.
Awesome stuff. Like to hear that.
Awesome. I'm doing awesome.
We got some fun stuff going around right now with some elections, don't they? Hopefully, we're going to have some honest elections. I know it was a lot different here in Utah than it was in Idaho, so that's one thing. Idaho, we were doing paper ballots still. They were still doing the counts and everything. Here, they're like using those machines. It looks like the Dominion ones, which I think it's interesting because here in Murray, where I live, they actually have Dominion Energy. Name it. It's like weird, all the names. I'm like, well, it's like crap. Not to go into conspiracies or anything, but it's like weird that things kind of connect the dots. But so they issued me a little, looked like a hotel room key card after looking at my verifying my driver's license, and then they matched it up with my voter record. And then had me look on an iPad thing and said, does this match? And I looked at it and I was like, yes, it does. And then went over and used the little stylus they gave me and basically voted. And then it said print out ballot. And then I pushed that and it had a little tiny box thing kind of to my left that it printed a paper ballot out. And it said, please verify. And I verified it and it said, your ballot has been cast. So I'm hoping that everything goes as what I saw, because it showed what I was voting for was what I was voting for, so nothing was switched. So we'll see.
Yeah. We definitely, with all the endorsements that Trump is doing, I mean, the goal was to flip the House and seats and everything. So hopefully that's what's going to happen.
Right.
We need that red wave.
Right.
That's one of the steps to getting our freedoms back,
But at least something moderate, so nothing extreme either way. So
Yeah, definitely. I mean, more than anything, we just need the Constitution to be upheld,
right.
and we haven't been getting that lately,
No. Have you guys done any early voting yet yourself?
No, I'm going to actually wait till Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
For me, I'm going to vote in person.
I didn't trust the ballot they sent me, so I tore it up in front of them. I was like, nope, I'll just do it here.
I know, you can just use that as extra toilet paper.
Yeah, I don't trust those ballot boxes because we saw the videos of people stuffing and taking things out, and then, that's okay, we're going to pass on that crap.
Yeah, if you guys are actually curious about that's the show called 2000 Mules, and it kind of shows how the election got frauded.
Oh,
so
boy,
it's
does it ever.
it was a really good movie.
Where was it that people can watch that on that 2000 Mules? Do you guys remember? Is that on Reddit or is it on a different platform?
It is available on Rumble.
Oh, Rumble. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually available on Rumble. However, you can go to Denise D'Souza's webpage and you can get it there too. It's just on Rumble. If I remember right, I think it's free. So, but you can watch 2000 Mules and, it'll actually show you the process of what happened. Very quickly, the ballots actually did have some sort of tracking system on it. So that actually allowed them to see where the ballots actually went. Was because some of the ballots actually went in the gutter, some of them got thrown in the trash, some of them, I find it interesting that there's some of the places where you can drop the ballots off or where you can count them is right next door or across the street from the like the funeral homes and morgue places where you can get the bodies incinerated. So it's got one of those incineration ovens.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. So I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. They also the mules that they actually had, which are the mules are the people that were doing the runs, collecting the ballots from wherever they got them, and be able to take those ballots. And they're not honest ballots. These are ballots that were made by the CCP, and they took these ballots and then they would stuff them in the drop box. We're talking about a single person, dropping off anywhere between 10 to 20 to 50 ballots, and you're only supposed to put one in. So that's illegal right there. These people find themselves arrested. So it's you can be criminally charged for doing that.
Right.
So
depend on the state's election code and how they operate, because we're looking at not just one election. We're looking at is it 457 separate elections?
yeah. So, but they did track them on the phones though. So, I mean, they have an idea who's doing what and who's doing where, and there were cameras on them. So, I know a lot of people say, oh, it's just a handful of people that may have cheated, maybe a little bit of fraud. It really doesn't matter how small the fraud is. The fact that there is fraud, it needs to be investigated. The fact that there's a possibility or even an inkling of fraud, it should be investigated. That's just my opinion. And I believe it should.
I agree.
Deserve full attention.
Fraud vitiates anything. All right. Look at any other situation where there may be a potential for fraud. Let's say finances or schoolwork, even, because if you cheat on that, it's technically fraudulent work. Or if you like, what's that called? Forge someone's name, fraudulent.
Oh, right.
Stuff like that. Like, let's say you got a bad grade and you have to get signed by your parents or stuff like that. Yeah, that's still fraud, and you get punished for that. So, are we just going to allow something that literally affects the entire world? Even think about it. Yeah, I don't think so.
And that's why they're pushing so hard certain new terms like election deniers. And it's the left, the liberal, they are, butthurt about the possibility that the election could have easily swung the other way. And the problem is, when you're talking about the liberal left, the people, we're not talking about the swamp, their idea of what is going on is entirely different than what the swamp's idea is. And that's what's so sad about it. We're trying to tell them what's going on, but they don't understand. And that's why we're trying to show them, and they still have their heads buried in sand. They don't want to look at the evidence.
No, I think one of the saddest things is the fact that the word liberal has been so co-opted to what it actually means.
Yeah.
I mean, liberal really means limited government in many ways. I mean, because many Republicans are considered classical liberals. We're talking
Right.
about Jeffersonianism and stuff like that, where it's small local communities
Yes.
outside the control of a massive government. That's what liberals mean. That would what it actually means. The problem now is that the term a lot of them will try to use is the word progressive now, because
Right.
okay, if you're not progressive, then you're regressive, which is not true actually, because progress is subjective. You know, certain things are not meant to be progressed any further because it may be a slippery slope type of situation. But by the way, we were just talking about 2,000 mules. Did you guys hear about what just happened on Monday?
I'm not sure. I've heard of
No.
Okay.
Yeah, refresh my
On
memory.
Okay, on Monday, the two of the people who were in that movie, Catherine, oh my gosh, Engelbright and Greg Phillips were sentenced or sent to jail on Monday.
Oh, wow.
Now, this is because of a court hearing they had on Friday of last week. And the reason why they were sent to jail was because they refused to release the information of a private confidential source. And the judge said, you're going to reveal that information, which they both said, no, it's a classified information. We're not able to do so. And so the judge said, well, if you're not going to release that information, you're going to jail.
So, Alex, the only part that I heard of you saying anything was the judge was, yeah. So everything before that, I didn't hear you. I don't know if Sue did.
I did.
Okay, so I didn't hear anything on my end, so I don't know if the
Well,
audience.
okay. Long story short, there was a judge on Friday that wanted the information that had to do with a federal oh my gosh, what did I say? A classified individual,
Okay.
a classified human source. That's what it's called, the classified human source. And the judge wanted the name of that person. Mr. Phillips and Ms. Engelbright both said that they were unable to do so due to the nature of the individual. Because it's classified. So the judge said, hey, if you're not going to release that information, you're going to jail on Monday unless you fix it. Which they didn't. And so they got sent to jail.
Good. Good for that judge. Are you able to say the person's name, or is that not something that we want to do right now?
They were not allowed to because it was a federal source. They'd be exposing sources and methods.
Interesting.
Now,
so do you think that that's going to tie into any of the indictments and things going on?
Well, the thing is that it had to connect to Connick at the moment, because this individual supposedly had supplied them information that had to do with Connick, their pole chief program, and the servers that they had that sent information to mainland China.
Wow.
And so they legally were unable to release the name of this person due to federal statutes.
Wow.
And the judge wanted them to violate federal law, and so they sentenced them to jail, or sent them to jail till pending trial.
Holy cow. Well, this should be interesting. I wonder what flavor popcorn we should get.
Caramel corn.
That's always a good stuff.
Yummy. Nom nom.
I could put some salt and a little bit of that nutritional yeast on it. That's really good too.
Can we get the ones that it's like? Have you guys ever had those sample size things of popcorn where it's like separated into 3-4 different category things.
Yeah, the ones in those tins.
Yeah.
The tins.
The
I've
ones in
been
those
looking.
tall tins. Yeah.
Those make good storage bins for rice and stuff.
Yeah, I want one of those bins. You know, the healthiest variety, but still.
I know, right? I always
I'm
love
just-
the caramel popcorn in those.
I'm just a little bit
Can I just get one that's all caramel and let's forget the cheesy ones?
I love cheese, so you just give it to me.
Yeah, we're just watching this shit slowly hit the fan. It's actually doing it in slow motion.
It is on the fan. The fan is literally oozing off the grid, off the grate of it.
Yeah, but the fan's not turned on yet.
Oh,
Makes me wonder if the fans just turn it on a little slow or if they're gonna do a big let's just go fast, bam.
Oh my gosh.
Well, no, we did the smart thing and actually turned it all the way, because if you know, when you turn it on, always it's like the strongest setting initially.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that'll swing it. Dude.
And so, yeah, we got a big race coming up this year. We got a big race.
Yeah, we gotta. I mean, the possibility of them, interfering with it once again, is very high. But I think that the Patriots this time have, countermeasures in place. It looks like. So I think there's Plan B's in the works.
Well, I'm hoping Plan B happens to be arresting a few people with that proven fake election, fake win, because that's proven right there. They show it in those mules, the 2,000 mules.
Right?
We know who the POTUS has been, but it's like, okay, dude, you showed us enough. Can you just get this shit show on the road so we can get the old fart out of office and, any successors?
Fake old fart. Oh my God, there's so many old farts in office.
Oh my God, we need people that can function. They should be doing cognitive testing before they get into office. Because you know what? We all have some sort of decline when we get to a certain point in our life. But a lot of these people have been in office for years and years and years and really have not done anything positive for our country. They're just basically, siphoning money because they get paid a lot for what? Treason?
That's the dangers of career politicians.
Yeah.
They weren't supposed to be career politicians, though. What they were supposed to do is, get voted in office when they do, and they were supposed to work, for a certain amount of term, and then go back to their normal lives, to whatever job they did, whatever they did before they got in office. And instead, they get themselves installed over and over again, and that's how they do the career politician thing.
Right.
Should be interesting, though. One of the other things that's kind of interesting about this whole situation is it's an off year. So generally speaking, less people vote on an off year. But here we are. People actually doing a lot more than they usually do.
Right. I was amazed. I had to wait about 20 minutes just to get my turn.
Nice. Wow.
There was a lot of people. There was people actually lined up, dropping their ballots into the box there. So brave. I mean, I don't trust that, so I wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, it's very possible that they could consider that a waste of time, but I'm very glad that people are patiently standing in line and, waiting to vote. That's a good thing. I'm not too comfortable with the early voting because I'm kind of concerned that the swamp is using it to gauge to see which way the needle's going to jump before they decide to figure out what the next move is going to be. And which they already know anyway. It's obvious.
there's one thing I need to say, and I need to say this, you know, and I'm not saying this as a candidate. I'm saying this as a concerned citizen.
Right.
Don't get out of line. Okay.
Yeah.
Do not get out of line.
Right.
If when polls close at whatever time, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever your state law states the time for the polls to close, once you're in line, you stay in line. You are legally
Right.
authorized to still vote if you're in the building or you're in the line.
Right.
You can vote at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight, as long as you're still in that line, because they are legally obligated to have every person vote who's in that line.
Yeah.
I hope you don't have to pee. Go pee before you go.
Hey, come on. How many of these people have probably sat in line at a freaking Six Flags?
You know what? I mean, if you want to take the grocery route, just put some Depends on.
Oh God, there's a few people that do that. I've heard. Oh God.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever seen those lines for Trump rallies? Seriously,
Jeez.
those are
Yeah.
multi-hour lines.
Oh my
I know
God.
people.
Is it for
I know people
security
who-
reasons that he doesn't allow food and drink in there?
Yeah, actually, there's liability reasons.
Oh wow, because it's so hard on people.
They can be held liable if somebody happens to choke to death, or if someone's poisoned, or if there's another issue. They're
Yeah, but wouldn't they be held liable if somebody passed out because they went so long without food or drink?
not if they're in the building or
Wow.
in the venue.
Okay. I was kind of wondering because some people have suffered some health problems and, like, you know, there's no bathroom or anything either. So it's just, you know,
It's
you gotta let people get comfortable.
well,
it's
it's one of
tough.
those things. It's one of those things where you're assuming responsibility for your actions and being in that situation,
Yeah.
which means that you have to prepare for any and all situations. I at least that's what I understand.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well,
but
I'm glad his rallies are big.
mm.
You know, we need
It was
that big wave.
Do you know, it was really interesting last night. I was trying to turn on a video on Rumble last night, and I, for the life of me, could not do it. No matter
Yeah.
how hard I tried, I could not turn on the video on Rumble. The reason being was because the Rumble servers were so full of other people watching the rally live on Rumble. So it overloaded
Wow.
it overloaded them, so you couldn't even load regular videos on the regular app, on the Roku app, on an iOS app, on the website. The way I had to do it was mirror the video through another app so that I could reroute it to my television.
Holy cow.
And luckily, I know how to do that. So otherwise, yeah, I'm not getting a video. Yeah. The only downside is since it is being rerouted several times.
Yeah.
Well,
it's good. You know how to bypass it.
There you go.
Hey, you know, being a digital soldier, you kind of have to learn about alternatives.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, different
No,
channels, different stores.
and having digital skills is not a bad thing as long as you're using them for good. You know, the problem is the swamp has been using all of the texts and ideas for bad, so now we have to deal with it. I mean, can you just imagine our accounts and passwords? They have to make them complicated. I remember when they started off, they could be whatever we wanted. Three letter words if you wanted. Now it has to have a capital letter, lowercase letter, and some symbols and everything.
You know, this is why the best way I've done it is I made it so that it makes sense. It can be complicated, but still makes sense.
Yeah, but you have to remember where do you put the capital letters and stuff like that. It just.
Well, you know, you can you can make a word forwards or backwards or inside out or
Yeah.
upside down. Or you can
Yeah.
just make random jumbled letters. It really up to you.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we also you okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we were actually also talking about the takeover of Twitter.
I was just about to ask you, have you
Yeah.
let it sunk in yet?
I'm just staying on the fence watching because I don't know how much I trust him. But then I've seen, there's a possibility he could be a white hat posing as a black hat, being a double agent. I mean, I'm just gonna watch and see because at this point I'm tired of people assuming shit and then it doesn't happen because I'm done. I'm so fucking done with this shit. So no, it's like if something happens, great. If not, well, I'm just gonna watch.
I am actually cautiously happy with him.
Yeah, I'm being cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Somebody did write, and I thought it was funny. Rob Schmidt from Rob Smith Tonight on Newsmax kind of mentioned it too. So I saw the person that kind of made a comment that said, well, kind of would be nice if, Elon Musk kind of ran for president, because then he would just fire half the people in office, So I thought that was kind of funny. But still, it's, we know where he stands. It's possibly that he did take some sort of a plea deal and he's working for us now. We don't know. But, if he's going to bring in free speech, that would be great. I'm hoping that Twitter doesn't turn into an echo chamber, but he basically said that everybody should be able to tweet whatever they want to tweet, no matter what their affiliation is.
Mm. Well, one of the things that it's a good thing to see is seeing how nervous the powers that are when it comes to this, which normally in my mind means that there is good work being done. I mean, the fact that he got rid of people that the attorney, the CFO, the CEO, means that at that point you are going to be creating a brand new thing outside of what it was before. And that can be very, very good, but it also can be very, very bad. It really depends on how they want to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one reason I'm watching. I mean, I usually don't use Twitter because I think it's annoying and there's more armchair idiots on there than on Facebook. But, you say something and everyone's got to turn into a fucking Karen. And I'm like, really? What the hell? Twitter's like a fucking shit show.
I think a lot of those trolls are gonna leave because they basically it's kind of funny how they say they're gonna leave and then they stand by and watch to see who's saying bye bye to them.
Right.
But it's still we had a lot of people that have left, and I don't know where they're gonna go. It just sounds like another platform will probably be bought up by the liberals or whatever. They'll just have their own echo chambers, basically what they're gonna have.
Right.
Oh, the funny thing is that there is actually they've created an alternate version of Twitter
Really?
that's being used by the progressive groups. There a lot of them are leaving Twitter because of Elon, and so they created their own group. Kind of like how a lot of us left Twitter to go to like Telegram and other things like that.
Yeah.
They're doing the exact same thing.
Telegram to me is just kind of a pain in the ass because like everything filters. You have 4 million things to scroll through, and it's like all at once you have to look at it. And I'm like, Telegram.
Yeah, and if you accidentally click on something and lose your place, you can't find it back.
Telegram's one of the worst platforms. It's just not user friendly.
I actually like Facebook the most. I love Facebook the most. The only thing is that they won't let you have free speech. That's the only thing. Otherwise, I love how Facebook is used.
Yeah, I think it's the most user friendly.
Yeah.
It's been I've loved it this whole time. So I'm like, yeah, shit. I wish
it's actually user friendly more than Truth Social. But the difference is I like about Truth Social is I can say exactly what I need to say on there, and it actually fits.
Right.
On their, so-called truth. They use word truth instead of tweet. But it's when you have to retruth something or write whatever you need to write, it fits. By Twitter, it gives you a limited amount of characters, and you're trying to find a short, concise way to say what you need to say sometimes. So it forces you to do that.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
the thing I have to say, when we're talking about True Social, is it's still a very new platform, relatively speaking.
Right.
I mean,
I haven't even really tried it. I mean, I've got an account, but I'm just like, yeah.
It doesn't seem. The thing is, what's interesting about True Social is that it doesn't have that addictive factor that Twitter or Facebook has. It's like non-habit forming medicine in many ways. Which means that it's just being used for what it's supposed to be used, and that's it. You're not going to be spending hours and hours and hours there.
Right.
Yeah. It's like swimming through information and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so I don't know. It's right now, it's just like I said, the liberals are, leaving. I know that Elon is doing some sort of purge right now, but I think he's just weeding out the ones that are been causing problems.
That would be nice.
So
but
depending on who you
go for it, Alex.
I was going to say, depending on who you are, there have been letters and emails being sent to every employee, and depending on what letter you get, depends on if you're getting sacked or not.
Yeah.
From what I saw, it was 2 different letters. One is a good letter, and one is you're going to be parting ways. Now, the way they did it is actually very genius because they did it in such a way where they wouldn't have to worry about things like severance pay. Because what they're doing is you're employed, but you're not going to be working. So they're technically your partnership ends in February, even though you're terminated in November.
Yeah, they're still going to get their bonuses and stuff. So
sure would be nice to get my tax return. I was told in March that I'd get it, and I still haven't got it.
Oh wow.
Yep. One of my friends just got his. It was a pretty big chunk, so I'm like, maybe. Sure, it would be nice.
I don't know. I thought there was a phone call or website you go to double check.
That's the biggest joke I ever saw, if I ever saw one. Because I've called, I've emailed them. The IRS just does not fucking care.
Wow.
But if you owe them, they'll come after you.
Yeah, that's always amazing how that works, isn't it? You owe that money, they want it quick. Yeah, they owe you something. They'll take their sweet damn time to get it to you.
Exactly.
I mean, they literally they put the new meaning to snail mail. I think they probably put your check literally on snail. That's probably why it's taking so long to come to you.
You're being nice. They're talking about the sloths that are doing it now.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Sloths are slower. Snail mail at least gets to you within a week.
Right.
What we're looking at is something far different than that.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were talking about the shortage of postage workers, but I don't know. Are we having shortage of those too?
What's that?
Shortage of postal workers. Is that true or not?
All I know is my dad is retired from the post office this week.
Uh-huh.
He was working for 37 years for them.
How's he enjoying his retirement?
Not bad. He's still a little achy from everything, but not too bad.
Well, that's good. That's good. Some people can't retire. I've seen people that feel they need to work right up until they're buried. So it just depends, if you're workaholic or not. But it's good that people are willing to take time off when they do.
It was either that or other things, and you're not. I'm just kind of happy that he decided to do that.
Yeah. I think there's supposed to be some sort of a bonus on that too if you retire. I don't know.
It depends.
Yeah. So, another thing that I thought we could kind of touch on was, talking about the election, we're kind of talking about Twitter, is that one of the other things that I kind of want to talk about is how the people are responding to the whole Antifa, BLM, and the whole violence that is going on. Because from where I am in St. Louis, Missouri, it feels like that the violence is escalating. What about where you are, Alex?
I haven't seen anything.
You
At
haven't
least not
seen
over
anything?
here.
What about you, Amária? And you have mute on.
What happened?
Okay, I guess Amária is not available at the moment. We might have to leave a message.
Beep.
I didn't realize
So-
I was muted.
Yeah.
I mean, no more than normal, I guess, for a city. I mean, I've got a friend that has had some theft and stuff going on, but nothing out of the usual besides that.
Well, we do have BLM and Antifa here.
Oh, we definitely have it here. Most of my clients that I work for on one of my jobs, they've got their BLM crappy flags everywhere, which I'm just like, they're nice people, but I'm like, you guys are so confused as to what that
Well,
party
that's what they
really
want. They
stands
want
for.
confusion and they want division. You
Right.
know,
Great
especially
clients, nice people.
especially the whole gender thing is getting ridiculous. You see them all over TikTok and Twitter, getting crazy. So yeah, I feel bad for a lot of the parents because they can't take the option of homeschooling their kids. They have to work,
True, very true.
So,
One of the,
what solution would the parents have? I mean, they basically
know.
have to fight it because the kids would come home crying, going, "I think I'm a boy." Teacher
Yeah, they
said
need
that
to
would
not
make
be
me
teaching
feel
that shit at
better.
school.
That would make me feel better because I got bullied by somebody in the playground. And they said it would be better if I changed my gender. I'm like, oh my God. Back then when we got picked on, their solution was that they would talk to the other kid and tell them not to pick on you. Simple as that. Changing a gender is not going to fix it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. But that's what they're doing. The minute it's almost like the same thing they were doing with attention deficit disorder. They overdiagnosed that on the kids all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember the way that they had? It's like, oh, you had trouble eating your lunch. You probably have ADD. Oh, you probably had trouble sharpening your pencils. Yeah, I got ADD. You know what I mean? It's just like, it just seems like they went overboard. And now with the whole gender thing, it seems like they're going overboard on. So.
All right.
the more that somebody can be given something through the pharmaceutical companies, they will.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, look at what
it's the moneymaker.
Oh, no, it's not. I mean, look what they did to these kids.
Yeah.
I mean, they locked them in a home, right, for over 2 years.
Yeah.
And you wonder why there's issues.
Not only that, there's still some of the schools are still making them wear masks, and then yet the adults don't have to. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
It makes absolute sense. So it just depends. So, I mean, it's just there's a lot of double standards going on.
Wearing a mask.
There's still plenty there. I mean, even St. Louis still wants to go back to it.
Oh yeah.
They're trying to push it. They were trying to push it at the airport again. We're not doing that again.
Mm-mm.
I'm not even comfortable with the whole, the star thing that they want to put on the ID.
The real ID.
Oh yeah, that's against the law that they put that on. That's every one of those has a tracking chip in it on your license.
Well, you know, the yellow star reminds me of the star that they put on during Nazi Germany times.
Great observation, sis.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, you
They're
know,
just doing it all
talking to
over again.
people, I've talked to nurses and doctors when I go in the hospital, and they
Yeah.
got the masks around their chins, and I'm like, why are you wearing those? You know they don't work. It's obvious by how you're wearing it. They're just like, because they're forcing us. I'm like, when you take it off and all of you do that together, that's when you take your power back.
Yeah.
Like, you're the doctors, you're the nurses. Stand up for our rights too.
Yeah.
By complying, this is just making shit worse.
Definitely agree with that. I mean, I don't know why anybody's wearing it still. I mean, we've all told it, but we're seeing them at the grocery store. We're seeing people back in them, all because of whatever the news says. So, you know, you can make these decisions yourself. That's the point of freedom. Freedom doesn't mean that you just sit back and wait for the government to tell you what to do, how to do
Right.
it, when to do it, where to go, what to be, how to be, whatever. You know, the government's job is to give you the information, whatever it is, and then let you decide how to deal with the situation, whatever it may be. And some people are going to choose one way and some people are going to choose another. That's fine. But you don't force your citizen and treat it like it's a privilege that needs to be taken away, your freedom, if you
Right.
don't comply.
Yep, there's a certain bunch of people, the NAZIS, that sure liked to do that during World
Yeah.
War II.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Stuff.
You know, a lot of crazy shenanigans going on. So it's just the world's changing. But yeah, everybody, get out and vote. Get out and vote. We need to flip the seats, flip the house, and everything. You know, we need that big red wave. It's the first step that we need towards our freedom. And they're scared. The swamp is absolutely scared that, you know, that if the seats flip, it's pretty much game over for them. And that's what we need.
Exactly. Exactly. Something else that's kind of interesting with this whole situation we're dealing with right now
Yeah.
is we're seeing that they're trying to replicate this thing internationally. All right. They're trying to replicate this in Brazil, where they just had their own election just the other day.
Yeah.
And look what happened there. They have been fighting tooth and nail to make sure that their their armed forces get involved. Bolsonaro has yet to concede. And he also said that he's going to let these things go and trust the Constitution. Where have I heard that before?
Yeah.
In the United States. So, we were talking, we were dealing with the exact same thing. And you know what's interesting about this is their supposed presumptive president. He's a criminal in Brazil. He is a felon. And he used to work for the intelligence services. And guess who got him out? The CIA.
Yeah.
And their cohorts. They got him out of prison so that he could run in this election.
Well, we had people that are in office that shouldn't be in office, and this is how you know that they've been installed. You should never be a career politician. You're supposed to do your job and get out and live a normal life. So, you know, the fact that they have been, you know, taken over and trying to rule us like this whole king and queen situation, and it's not working. And people need to remember what freedom is. Freedom is not waiting for someone to tell you what to do. Freedom is
Right.
you choosing to do it yourself. And that's the thing. People are afraid to choose because we're so used to saying, you tell me what to do. Tell me what I need to do. I need to make the right decision. I need to do the right thing. And I know people are very kind hearted. They're good people and they want to make the right decision. They want to do the right thing. It's just that you got to start being accountable for yourself. And unfortunately, we're not used to doing that.
No, entirely not. Personal responsibility is something that is so unusual in this day and age. The idea of you actually being held accountable for your actions, that is the reason I think that is the lion's share of the reason why we are in the situation we are currently in today.
Yeah, people are starting to see through the BS, but there's still a lot of people that need awakening.
Right.
Well, look at it this way. If we were to actually be responsible for our actions, none of this would have happened. Because we would be realizing that what we were doing would be detrimental not just to ourselves, but to our peers, our community, and to the world at large.
Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
got this. We got this.
Definitely. I have no doubt in my mind that we will not succeed.
Yeah. I think this is supposed to be a good year for us. And if not, we do have the military on standby. So we already know the playbook. So everybody knows the playbook. The White Hats know the playbooks. You know, the military, Trump knows the playbooks. Everybody knows the playbook. So Plan B is also involved in no matter what they decide to do. And
well, hopefully they do something soon because there's a lot of people hurting right now.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to throw everything and hoping something will stick, you know? And they're learning nothing will stick. People are not buying what they're selling. And I'm glad people are waking up to that.
Me too. Oh, me too.
So, you know, just a little bit more, just a little bit longer. We all need to hold on and support each other.
That we got.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this is a good show tonight.
Yeah.
Great topics. Lots of information in a little bit of time. Come to the end of the hour again, and yet again, grateful to be able to be on here with you guys, chat with you guys. Grateful for Katie Kamara and her amazing talent gift that she gives to us each week with her time, and I absolutely love her. Proud of her. She's facing some struggles and has been barreling it through like a boss. And then I love you guys so much. And we're also grateful for C4OC Radio Network and Rev Radio Las Vegas. You guys are all amazing out there. Thank you so much for our listeners. Thanks, Sue. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Love
Thank you very much. Lots of love, everybody. Have a good week.